is down in the audience right now. So if you would, let's stand for a pledge of allegiance, for a moment of silence, and then to do the pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Madam Clerk, the agenda has a roll call as the next item.
Councilmember Jones?
Here.
Councilmember Nunn?
Here.
Councilmember Dixon?
Here.
Councilmember Dodd?
Here.
And Councilmember McPartlin? Here. Thank you.
Okay, item 6 is the election matters. There's some formalities before. No, we don't do that. We actually swear in first. Okay. It's time to do the swearing in.
Mr. Jones?
Yes. Do solemnly swear that I will support, protect, and defend the Constitution and government of the United States and the state of Florida, that I am duly qualified to hold office under the Constitution of the state, and that I will well and faithfully perform the duties of the office of council member for the city of Sebastian, in which I am now about to enter. So help me God.
Oh, I can go sit now.
Okay. I
State your name.
state your name.
Bob McFarland.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United
and
States
state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office under
to hold office under
the Constitution of the state,
the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will well and faithfully perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of council member
of council member
for the city of Sebastian,
for the city of Sebastian,
on which I am now about to enter.
on which I am now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God. Thank you. Oh, this side.
Okay. Is that good? Thank you. Ready? I
I, Christopher Nunn,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support, protect, and defend
that I will support, protect, and defend
the Constitution and government
the Constitution and government
of the United States
of the United
and the
States
state of Florida,
and the state of Florida,
that I am duly qualified
that I am duly qualified
to hold office under
to hold office under
the Constitution of the state,
the Constitution of the state,
and that I will well and faithfully perform
and that I will and faithfully perform
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of council member
of council member
for the city of Sebastian,
for the city of Sebastian,
on which I'm now about to enter.
on which I'm now about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
All right, next step is, since we skipped a couple of, we did them earlier, we'll go ahead and do item 6A, reading of the canvassing board by our city attorney.
Thank you. This is the official Certificate of Canvassing Board official returns for the City of Sebastian, Indian River County, Florida. We, the undersigned, Jeanette Williams, City Clerk, Jennifer Cockcroft, City Attorney, and Brian Benton, City Manager, constituting the Board of City Canvassers in said City of Sebastian, do hereby certify that we met on the 9th day of November 2023 AD and proceeded publicly to canvass the votes given for the offices and persons herein specified at the municipal election held on the 7th day of November 2023 AD, as shown by the returns on file in the Office of the Supervisor of Elections. We do hereby certify from said returns as follows. For 2-year term, City Council member term, the whole number of ballots was cast 4,363, of which number the following votes were received. Vote for up to 3. Damian H. Gilliams received 175. Damian L. Jr. Gilliams received 159. Fred Jones received 3,446. Sherry Matthews received 2,039. Bob McPartland received 3,158. And Christopher Robert Nunn received 2,920 votes. We certify that pursuant to section 102.112 Florida statutes, the canvassing board has compared the number of persons who voted with the number of ballots counted, and that the certification includes all valid votes cast in the election. The undersigned, Jeanette Williams, City Clerk, Canvassing Board Chair, Jennifer Cockcroft, City Attorney, Canvassing Board Member, and Brian Benton, City Manager, Canvassing Board Member, dated November 9, 2023.
All right, thank you so much for that. Next order of business is the call for nominations for mayor. We open the floor to nominations.
I nominate Ed Dodd.
I nominate Fred Jones. I didn't hear you, Carol.
Ed.
Are there any other nominations? All right, hearing none, we'll close. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes, Fred.
Councilmember Nunn?
Councilmember Jones.
Councilmember Dixon?
I'll go with Ed.
Councilmember Dodd?
Dodd.
And Councilmember McPartland?
Mr. Dodd.
Okay. Councilmember Dodd is our new mayor.
All right, I'm going to stay in this chair, and we'll open nominations for the position of vice mayor.
I'd like to nominate Ms. Dixon.
Are there any other nominations? Then I'll, by unanimous consent, Kelly Dixon as vice mayor.
Thank you.
Are you moving down, Ed?
Yeah, I guess we need to.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Want to stay or
Do we
move?
need to swap? Or it's up to you. Do you want to stay there or move over here?
I like my seat.
I don't know if there's protocol or not. Not really.
Okay. Wow, that's an honor. Thank you.
First, I would like to thank Fred for his performance last year as the mayor of the city of Sebastian. He's done a fantastic job.
Thank you, sir.
I think it's important that we thank him for see if I can get my hearing aids tied on here. Okay. And I'd like to thank the candidates who ran, well, 4 of the candidates who ran for city council. It was a good, honest election, and I think the people of Sebastian made their choice, and it was a good choice. So, thanks for that. Okay. The only agenda modification we have is, and I'll just do this unless there's an objection. Laura Moss is here. She's county commissioner. She'd like to stand up and say a few words to the council. So, unless there's an objection, I'm going to go ahead and let her do that now.
Sure.
Is there an objection to that? No? Okay. Laura, you want to come up?
I couldn't help but think, sitting there, that it was a Norman Rockwell moment. Local government, watching the 3 of you be sworn in tonight, and of course, I've been sworn in myself on Vero Beach City Council a number of times before coming to County Commission, but it's a beautiful moment to watch. And congratulations on the re-election, Mr. Jones, Mr. Nunn, and Mr. McPartlin. And as it turns out, I get to congratulate each one of you individually. Congratulations, Mayor Dodd and Vice Mayor Dixon. Wonderful night. What I wanted to also say, for those who might not know, is that County Commission now is meeting with each of the cities, and we've already had a joint workshop, so I see good things ahead on that. I think that's going very well. That was a consensus among us, and I think it was, from what I could see, among Sebastian City Council as well. Tomorrow, by the way, is the start of our workshops having to do with our comprehensive plan. That's the county comprehensive plan, public outreach. And if I'll make sure that your city clerk has a schedule if she doesn't have it already, but it starts tomorrow, just inviting the community, because as it turns out, it will be held at the North County Public Library, and that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. and again at 6 p.m. So it's 2 different times. There are a total of 6 meetings. We're looking to, reach out around the county, just to get input. This happens only every 10 years. So now is the time. It's important to come forward and make your wishes known with regard to the comprehensive plan, which affects development of the entire county. So, again, congratulations and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we have 3 special proclamations this evening for 3 students from Sebastian River High School who are moving on to the next level to play sports. I guess I'll have to come down there to do it. I don't think that's right, is it? I'll ask you. Okay.
Okay, the first one is Bailey Walker, who is going to move on to Kaiser University and play lacrosse for Kaiser University. And if you'll come up, if you have your parents or someone that wants to come up with you, that'd be great. This is, it's on, I think. I'm going to let you say a few words if you'd like when we do this. But this is a little proclamation plaque from the city of Sebastian congratulating you on your move to play lacrosse. So if you'd like to say something, you can. Okay. You want to look that way?
Hi, everyone. I would just like to say thank you to everyone who supported me along my journey throughout everything I've ever done. So thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll get over here. Thank you. All right, thank you, guys. Thank you. Kaylee Morano. Is this thing working? Kaylee Morano. Am I saying that correctly? She's not here? No? Okay. She's also going to play lacrosse at Ottawa University. All right, now, Calvin Janek. Now, Calvin's going to play baseball at Coastal Carolina, and I honestly believe in our agenda they've got the wrong name for the mascot. I don't know that that's correct, is it?
It's clear. Yes,
Is
sir.
it right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. My nephew is a graduate of Coastal Carolina, and he's a great fan. He goes to all the games. He lives in Myrtle Beach, so he goes to all the games. So,
Yes, sir.
all right. There's a plaque for you to recognize that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. All right. Congratulations. Okay. You'd like to say a few words?
Just want to say thank you to everybody for always showing up and always being here for me and helping support all of our students.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Picture? Yeah. You want a picture? Yeah. Jeanette will take that if you'd like to be in it. And Vice Mayor Dixon, I don't know that you knew this, but when you agreed to be the vice mayor, there's a section on page 2, all the brief announcements.
Yes.
I think our practice has been for that to be. So if you'd like to go through that.
Sure, not a problem. You know, I'm trained in reading, so this is good. All right, so Saturday, November 18th is the Sebastian River Art Club. They will be at Riverview Park from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., so come out and support local artists. Thursday, November 23rd and Friday, November 24th, City Hall will be closed for Thanksgiving. Barb Snow's Arts and Craft Kris Kringle Market will be at Riverview Park Friday, November 24th through Sunday, November 26th. Friday, December 1st, Sebastian River Area Chamber of Commerce Light Up Night is from 5:30 to 8 p.m., so come out and support local businesses. Saturday, December 2nd, Rotary Club Brew Fest at Riverview Park starts at noon and goes until 4 p.m. And that night, Sebastian Holiday Parade on Indian River Drive from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Thursday, December 7th is Pearl Harbor Day observance at Riverview Park at 12:30. And then Saturday, December 9th, Sebastian Craft Club will be at Riverview Park from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. A lot going on.
Yes, thank you. Okay, we'll open the agenda up to public input. Once again, this is for anything that is not on the agenda this evening that you'd like to bring up to the council. So is there anyone that would like to speak during public input?
Grace Reed, Sebastian. First, congratulations first on re-election, and then on the nominations and for the realignment. But I just kind of wanted to touch on what Laura Moss had said about the meeting for tomorrow night. To start with, thank you for having or hosting the Parks and Recreation community thing the other night. I thought there was a really good turnout here, and there was a lot of really good information and a whole lot of feedback. And I'm really hoping that tomorrow night at the county at the library, there's a lot more. There was another little spurt in TC Palm this afternoon, and it started, it didn't look like it'd be interesting because it was more about the city council down there in Vero Beach and some of the things that they were going to touch on. But then it kind of transitioned into a lot of points with a focus on annexations through Sebastian and Fellsmere, and then it hit on the interchange down at Oslo Road and all the clear cutting and stuff that they're doing down there with the thousands of homes that are going to go down there. And it's really an opportunity for people to get in and voice some opinions before contractors have a chance to start presenting all of their stuff. So I'm hoping for people, not only from our city of Sebastian, but I mean, even the ones out in VLE, you know, that's going to affect them touching on Fellsmere and stuff. I hope there's a good crowd there tomorrow night, so I just kind of wanted to touch on that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else who wants public input? Yes, sir. Come forward.
Good evening, Council. My name is Brian Young. I recently sent an email to everyone on the Council individually. I did speak to a couple of you individually. I came here to present an idea about the Sebastian Boat Code Ordinance. So I'm 26 years old, Marine Corps veteran, Sebastian resident, and homeowner. As a Sebastian native, born and raised here, I know one of the greatest treasures that makes our small town so amazing is our beautiful waterways and water activities. The old saying you hear a lot is, if you move to Sebastian, you gotta have a boat. After I ended my active duty service in the United States Marine Corps in 2019, I decided I wanted to move back to Sebastian and purchase a home. As you're aware of the economic situation in our country, and more specifically the real estate market, when I was in the market to purchase a home in 2021, the houses were selling like hotcakes, and my dream of being a first-time home buyer felt nearly impossible. High demand and low supply made it difficult to be picky in a time of need to purchase a home. I ended up purchasing a home here in Sebastian, November 2021, off of Clearbrook Street. One of my dreams while being a homeowner here was to own a boat and enjoy the amazing waterways of Sebastian. It wasn't until recently I found out I am unable to park a boat on my driveway. I was initially looking to extend my driveway out to the side to accommodate parking a boat when I heard from other Sebastian residents it would be against code to park a boat on my driveway. Yeah, it would have to be behind the leading edge of my home or behind my home. Unfortunately, the way my home is built, the air conditioning unit prevents me from parking a boat to the side and all the way back. My next thought was to park the boat on the other side of the home. However, my septic tank is on that side and my property is raised with a slope that would put the boat at an angle. And let's just say if I can make it around the septic tank, which if I leveled to make do for the parking of the boat, I believe it would be against code for the drainage and stormwater codes. After realizing I don't have a choice to park a boat on my property, I looked into boat storage facilities. And let's just say the price was absurd, and not to mention would leave me feeling uncomfortable leaving my boat not on my property. I decided to go to City Hall October 31st, 2023 to get some more information about speaking at a city council meeting. And let me just say everyone was extremely helpful and friendly. I explained to a woman named Jeanette my problem and why I wanted to speak at a city council meeting, hoping to get this code ordinance changed. She told me I could file for a variance. I wasn't familiar with what a variance was. She walked me to the land development office and I spoke with an extremely friendly, professional, helpful woman. I don't remember her name. I explained my troubles and she said filing for a variance would most likely get denied. She printed out my property survey and we looked it over. I asked her the purpose of the code and she said it was image related to give the city of Sebastian a good look so people wouldn't park their boats on their driveway. She gave me multiple solutions, including parking my boat in the front of my lawn, sideways to be across the garden, so it would be behind the leading edge of the garage, but cover the entire front of my house. I immediately felt this was absurd. that for image-related purposes, I could park my boat covering my entire front of the house, but not on a driveway extension. Not to mention corner lots of homes, the front of the home could also be the side or the back. There's clearly some inconsistencies in this code. She saw the problem with parking the boat on the side of the house and explained the raising of properties here for septic tanks because Sebastian is not on sewage. I left City Hall determined to contact the City Council and to speak at a City Council meeting to get this code changed. On my way back home from City Hall, I saw nearly a dozen homes with people parking their boats, trailers, RVs on the grass behind the leading edge of their home to follow this code. It looked absolutely horrendous. As I'm sure City Council hears nothing but complaints with no solutions. I have a proposed solution to benefit both sides of this problem, as well as giving back to the City of Sebastian I hold so near to my heart. My proposed idea is to allow boat owners, RV owners, trailers park their vehicles on their driveway in the front of their home, limited to one recreational vehicle in front of the house, but be required to register with the city, address, type of recreational vehicle, etc., and pay a $250 annual tax stamp to allow the owners of these vehicles to park their driveway because they are unable to park it like me. The $250 tax stamp puts good faith into recreational vehicle owner to show they care about this matter. The $250 tax stamp will bring funding to the city, and the city will be able to give more back to the citizens of our small town. Who knows, this may create more boat owners in Sebastian, leading to more social media presence, leading to a bigger tourist attraction. I feel this is a win-win solution for all around. In conclusion, I do hope we can change the boat code ordinance to accommodate homeowners like myself and many others who wish to enjoy the greatest adventures, beauty, and hobbies of our beautiful Sebastian. This isn't about me, but about the community as a whole, benefiting everyone. I've seen this small town grow over the years. I do hope we can continue to grow as a community and to progress for a better, more cohesive town. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Would you get Brian's business card? And you can meet with Brian. Brian can talk to the staff. The way that this process would work to do something like that is that the staff has to decide that if there's some changes that can be supported and done, and they have to bring those forward to the Planning and Zoning Commission and to the modification. So it's a process, and Brian can help you work through that, and then the staff can determine whether some variation or your proposal has some, has some merit, and then they can go through that process. So, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Get with Brian and then work through that.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else want to come forward? Is there anyone on Zoom?
No one has raised their hand at this time.
All right, then public input is closed. We're on with the consent agenda. Does anyone like to pull any items from the consent agenda?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to pull items E, F, and I.
Echo, Foxtrot, and India. Okay. E, F, and I are pulled. Do I have a motion on the remaining items?
I move approval of items A, B, C, D, G, H, and J.
All right. Do you have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comment on the motion? All right. Let me see. Yeah, there's money in there. We need a roll call, please.
Councilmember Nunn,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd,
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin,
Yes.
and Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right. Councilmember McPartlin, you're
Yeah,
up.
I just pulled those items because they were very high dollar items. I spoke to Brian before the meeting. I know we need the equipment, but if you're just somebody who just tunes into a meeting, you think that these items were all budgeted for, they're either replacing existing trucks or they're improving. So if Brian could just speak a little bit to that, so
Brian?
Yes, can you just, I apologize, can you confirm which items you pulled?
E, F, and I.
E, F, and I, okay, thank you, sorry about that. So item E is the purchase of a brush truck that is needed within our roads and stormwater departments that'll be utilized there. The existing vehicle that they have that they're using is a 2007 model with 98,000 miles, and it has exceeded its life expectancy within the city. So that's the item that's before you all today. It was, as stated before, it was included in this year's budget, and we're asking for approval on that in the amount of $115,831, and the original budgeted amount was $122,000.
Yeah, item F. We can do them all three.
Yeah.
If it's okay with you.
That's fine.
So item F is a backhoe. The original budgeted amount was $170,000. The total cost of the backhoe that we are requesting purchase of tonight is $146,430. It is a replacement for our current backhoe loader. That is a 2014 year model with 4,550 hours on it. Once again, it has exceeded its life expectancy. And just based on the cost of repair and the downtime that we are starting to see once it reaches this level of its expectancy, we are recommending replacement of this backhoe within at tonight's meeting, and it was also included in this year's budget.
And number I.
Tractor.
So item I, 10I, is we have a tractor located at the airport. So this is utilizing airport revenue to replace this item. This is used to mow the open airfield area. We put a 3-gang mower on the back of it, but the one that it is replacing is a 2001 year model. So it has greatly exceeded its expectancy with this. So we are requesting approval for this. The budgeted amount was $80,000. The total cost of this replacement is $67,670.
Thank you. And before I call for a motion, I just want to, items on the consent agenda are all approved budget items. They don't put anything in the consent agenda that was not in the approved budget. So that's one thing that people, as they look at these, can get a feel for. This has already been looked at one time by the council from a budgeting point of view, but it's important, I think, what Mr. McPartland did to bring these forward. So, and these all actually came in under budget, if I remember correctly, when I looked at details on these.
Well done.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, with that, thank you, Brian, and I'll move approval of item 10E, F, and I.
Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second. We need a roll call on that, please.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd,
Yes.
Councilmember McPartland,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
and Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, item number 11, committee reports and appointments. Is there anyone that has a committee report they'd like to make? No? Okay. I just want to say one thing. Florida League of Cities has some pretty good content on their website, and they had a really good webinar Monday about some of the bills that are going through the I'll call it the system in Tallahassee. And if anyone is interested in looking at those things, including the public, the Florida League of Cities website is open to anybody. You don't have to be an elected official to get to it. There's a lot of good content out there. There are several bills being proposed this year already that are home rule killers. One of the biggest ones is a move to include local municipal elected officials in a state mandated term limits, which there was an attempt last year to do that for county commissioners, and this year they're trying to add local elected officials to that list with a 2-term limit on that. And the real question is whether they make it retroactive. They did that to the school boards. And if they make it retroactive, like some people want to do, that means that most of us up here won't be able to run again. So there's several issues like that that are important. And the public has a lot of power if they choose to do it, through the email system, through contacting legislators and tell them what they think about this stuff. So go look at it. It's not just elected officials that can do this, but the public has a lot of power to do that. They listen to their constituents because they know you vote. So it's important to do that. So that's my preaching. Okay, at this point, I'm going to recess the city council meeting and reconvene the Board of Adjustments. We have a set of minutes from the September 3rd, 2022 BOA meeting. Do we have anyone that would like to give me a motion on that?
Mr. Mayor, I move approval of item 12A.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Signify by saying aye. Approval?
Aye.
All right. Same sign, disapproval. Okay, motion passes. Okay, we have a quasi-judicial hearing. I think the attorney has to read this, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor Dodd. This is a quasi-judicial hearing for the Board of Adjustment for a variance request. This is a request by the property owners Vincent and Kendall Zarella in regards to Lot 12, Block 585, Sebastian Highlands, Unit 17, including that portion of abandoned right-of-way of Archer Street per ordinance 0-00-23, located at 115 Thunderbird Drive, requesting a variance to allow a lot depth after a release of unity of title is granted to be 81.11 feet in length, whereas the Land Development Code Section 54-2-5.2.3 D4 requires that the minimum depth of a lot zone RS10 residential single family must be a minimum of 100 feet.
Okay, do any of the council members have any ex parte communications they'd like to disclose at this time? No. No? Okay. All right. City Clerk, if you would swear in anyone who intends to address the council on this and provide factual information.
Okay. If you'll raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm that the factual statements and factual representation which you're about to give or present during this public hearing will be truthful and accurate?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, and the applicant will make a presentation if you'd like.
So my name is Vincent Zarella. This is my wife, Kendall. We're here to apply for a variance to remove Lot 12 from our unity of title. Currently, we own 3 lots on Thunderbird Drive, lots 12, 15, and 16. As stated in the package, we're seeking to remove Lot 12 from the unified title. In order to do this, we need to get a variance.
Okay. Do you have anything else you'd like to?
The request for the variance is basically based on the fact that City Council at one point abandoned Archer Street, which made the Lot 12 a non-conforming lot. And in order to split this from the unity of title, we need the variance.
Okay. Would the city staff like to do a presentation on this? You can sit down if you'd like. Yeah. If anyone has any questions, we'll call you back up.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is a variance that's required. The property owners currently own 3 lots that are unified, 15 and 16. Their house is on 15. They have a vacant lot on one side. They own Lot 12. Once the Archer Street was abandoned, and state law requires that when a street is abandoned, half of the road goes to one lot, half of the other adjacent lot. They now had property to Lot 12 and was able to unify that. At the time when Lot 12 was a standalone corner lot, it met the requirements for lot depth and lot width because it did have Archer Street access. Once Archer Street was abandoned and they unified it, and as unified, the lots meet the depth and the lot requirement. But they would like to sell off Lot 12. They have an application in for a release of unity of title, but to do that, we need to get this variance approved if the council desires, because the lot now, it only has access off of Thunderbird, and so the lot and depth of the lot kind of switched, and it does not meet the 100 feet required for the minimum dot left. It's still a buildable lot. It will have probably be more of a long, narrow ranch house instead of something that's from the street narrow and back. It may have some design criteria for a pool because there's not going to be a lot of room behind this house, but it is definitely a buildable lot. Water and a septic tank will be able to put on this lot. So the hardship was, and it was not created by the property owners, it was from the city when we abandoned the road this was for the development of the stormwater pond and some scrub jay area. He meets all the requirements that's required based in that section of the code. Staff recommends approval. The only thing I just wanted to do, there was a picture showing that there is existing curb and gutter and an apron that Archer Street from the previous Archer Street. I have spoken with the Public Works Department city engineer. Thunderbird is on the list for some repair this budget, and she will include the removal of that curb and gutter and the reconnection as part of that street improvement project. Staff recommends approval. We don't have any recommended conditions of approval.
Okay. Does the city council have any questions for either the applicant or the staff? Any member of the council? I mean, the lot's actually 150 feet by 81. It's just because it's shifted streets, it's now 150 feet wide, 81 deep,
Correct.
So it doesn't make any sense to. All right. Is there anyone from the public who would like to speak in favor of this request? All right, seeing none. Anyone from the public who would like to speak in opposition to this request? Anyone on Zoom, either way?
Nobody's raised their hand at this time.
Okay, since we didn't have any public issues, the applicant has an opportunity now to provide responses, but there weren't any, so unless you'd like to do some more input, no. Okay, the staff has an opportunity to summarize the request if you'd like. No?
Staff recommends approval.
Okay. And then now the council deliberation. Council, what's your wishes on this?
I'd like to move approval of the variance. Second.
All right, have a motion and a second to approve the variance. We actually need a voice vote on this, I think, so. All right. Voice vote, please.
Chairman Dodd?
Yes.
Mr. McPartlin?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Nunn?
Yes.
And Vice Chairman Dixon?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You got it. Okay, now I'm going to adjourn the Board of Adjustment meeting and restart or reconvene the City Council meeting. We have no unfinished business. We're now on to new business. First item is item A, approval of a lease agreement between the City of Sebastian and Indian River Lagoon Council for additional space, and authorize the mayor to execute an appropriate documents. Mr. Benton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So as you all are aware, Indian River State College pulled out of their lease back earlier in the summertime. So we had a second floor space available at the historical schoolhouse. In numerous discussions with the Indian River Lagoon Council, they had expressed an interest in renting this additional space that they could utilize. And so we went back and forth in regards to a lease agreement with them and adding the additional 3,800 square feet of the second floor into this lease. And it gives them an opportunity to pay with a monthly rate, or if they pay in full, they get a small discount by paying in full. And we recommend approval of the lease agreement with Indian River Lagoon Council, once again, for the additional 3,800 square feet of the second floor of the historical schoolhouse building. And I just want to recognize that Dr. Dwayne DeFries is here tonight for the Indian River Lagoon Council, if you all have any questions for him. But I just want to thank him for everything they do for the city and also for our lagoon. So we recommend approval.
Great organization. It's nice to have them headquartered in Sebastian. So now the only question I have when I looked at this is not impacting the ability to move the veterans rep into the building or possibly to expand some of the veteran services, as I think Mr. Bartlett talked about one time in there.
Yeah, so what he discussed about the DAV in that discussion that we discussed at the last meeting, we're looking at other options for that, okay. Not at the schoolhouse. We're looking at the yacht club as a possibility, Public Works compound, or potentially some opportune space here at City Hall, just on a basis of a couple days a week, possibly.
Okay. But as far as the actual county rep that we are providing, we're going to provide office space for, we're not impacting any of that.
This involves no impact to them. They have the western end of the first floor for the county. I spoke with them earlier this week. They are training VSOs. They were going to training over in Clearwater this week. They were waiting also for some additional network and IT support to be installed so that the county could connect to their network over there. So there has been a delay in getting the county's VSO services here at the schoolhouse. But they anticipate, based on conversations this week, early December, hopefully getting someone in place over there. But this does not affect their usage of that at all, and their lease agreement is still in place.
Okay. Does anyone from the public want to address the lease with the Indian River Lagoon Council? Seeing none. Anyone on Zoom?
No, at this time.
Is there anybody on Zoom?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Mr. Mayor, I move approval.
Approval? We have a
Yep.
second?
Second.
Second, okay. We have a motion and a second. Yeah, it's got money in it. It does require a roll call vote, so several roll call votes.
Okay. Councilmember McPartlin?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
And Mayor Dodd?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, item B is Resolution 2230. City Attorney, please.
Resolution number R-23-30, a resolution of City of Sebastian, Indian River County, Florida, authorizing the city manager to execute a public transportation grant agreement, PTGA FM 454020-1-94-01 with the Florida Department of Transportation for the funding of the upgrade or replacement of the AWAS system at the Sebastian Municipal Airport, providing for conflict, severability, scrivener's errors, and effective date.
Okay, and the 2230 is another one of those scrivener's errors that when we get this new software package, we'll fix it. It says in item B, approval of resolution R 2230, and so forth down the line there, so, and it's supposed to be 2330, so anybody who's listening can hear that. Is there any comments from the council on this resolution? Or Mr. Benton, would you like to make a presentation?
I'll just quickly state, just for clarification so that everyone is aware, AWAS, the AWAS system is the automated weather observing system, and that is how we transmit weather conditions within the airport property to pilots as they are departing the airport or coming into land, either way. And so with this grant, we have the opportunity either to upgrade our current system or completely replace it. So Mr. Sabo did a really good job in working with FDOT to secure funding for a full replacement if that is deemed necessary. And obviously we can do the upgrade within those same funds, but he went for the full replacement money if that's what is necessary.
Good. Yeah.
Can I, Mr. Benton and I talked about this. It sounded like per our conversation that it most likely will be a full upgrade because you said the parts or the software or whatever is almost impossible to find to kind of repair, fix, whatever. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, that is correct. So in discussions I've had with Mr. Sabo on this item, I think it's 4 FAA-approved vendors within the state for the AWAS system. 3 of them use the exact same manufacturer with parts that we currently have. So we will be, if the decision is made, which as Vice Mayor Dixon stated, it is a strong possibility that we will completely replace the system, if that's what we deem as being necessary once we start going through the process.
Okay, thank you.
All right, what's the council's pleasure on resolution R 2330?
I move approval.
Second.
You got a motion and a second. Anyone from the public like to address this item? Okay. Anyone on Zoom?
I have one with their hand raised.
Okay, would you bring them in?
Hello,
Good
can
evening.
you hear us?
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good evening. First and foremost, I want to extend a congratulations to our Fred Jones and Chris.
Can you give your name, please, for the clerk?
Yes. Former City Councilman Damian Gilliams. I just want to extend a congratulations to Chris Nunn and Fred Jones and Bob McFarland for a well-ran campaign. And good luck with the next 2 years. I also want to extend a congratulations to our new city manager and our new city attorney for a fresh start. We can put everything, I hope, in the past behind us. And I'm looking forward to joining city council meetings at the beginning of next year. And keep up the good work. Please try to keep our taxes down. Thank you very much. God bless you all.
Thanks, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second on item C, item B, resolution 2330. Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Mayor Dodd?
Yes.
And Councilmember McPartlin?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, item number C, which is First Amendment to the Pro-Flight Management lease. Mr. Benton?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So ProFlight Management, they are the new Hangar D tenant that we approved a lease agreement with recently. And they, in discussions with them, they have a need for Jet A fuel that we do not currently have at the airport. And so we have a fuel tank that has been out of service on the western side of the airport for about 3 years. The fuel level in it is really low right now. We're trying to get that fuel out of there. It's approximately 300 gallons. And ProFlight, with this amendment, will take over and handle the refurbishment of the tank and then operate the tank and the sale of the Jet A fuel out of that fuel tank with this agreement. So the staff recommends approval of this agreement with ProFlight for the fuel tank that's located on the west side of the airport.
All right. Does anyone on the council have any questions for the?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if I
Yes,
can.
go ahead.
I actually would have talked to you about this earlier, but I received a phone call about this today. Will this allow for local airboaters to refuel with ProFlight once this is done? So I know that's, right now they have to go to the Vero Beach Airport.
Council members, this tank will be strictly used for the Jet A fuel, which is a turbine fuel for specifically jet engines. The airboaters are after the 100 low lead gasoline that we already currently serve on the ramp. I know that there are some access problems for them. We're trying to eliminate any traffic with boats and trailers out on the ramp around aircraft, but we're working with the new owner of the FBO to try and make arrangements to at least escort them and still be able to sell that fuel to the airboaters.
Okay, cool.
But a different product, but still possible.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Any other questions for the staff? Does anyone in the public want to comment about this? Seeing none? On Zoom?
No, at this time.
All right. Council, what's your pleasure on item C?
I move approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. This lease does not, well, it does include dollars, so we need a roll call, please.
Councilmember Nunn,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd,
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin,
Yes.
and Councilmember Jones.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, item number 15D, authorization to the city manager to negotiate with C&D Construction a guaranteed minimum price to build hangar D at the airport. Mr. Benton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So if you remember, we've had discussions on this. This is also involving ProFlight and Hangar D. The city has received an FDOT grant to cover 80% of the proposed design build cost, which is $400,000. So the FDOT grant is for $320,000. In our lease agreement with ProFlight for Hangar D, part of the agreement was that they would cover the additional $80,000, so the 20% match to the FDOT grant for the design build out, because they will have a say in the design build and how it's built out for their use. However, I just want to point out that with that, in the original lease agreement, we did give them a few months of rent, because that $80,000 that they're going to be paying for this portion of the grant, all the upgrades are still the property of the city. So whenever that lease terminates, or if they pull out, all these upgrades that they're paying $80,000 for are still airport property.
Okay.
So I just wanted to point that out, but we recommend approval of this. The design build with C&D Construction Company and we'll come back with a guaranteed maximum price on this project. If the GMP on this design build exceeds $400,000, then ProFlight would be responsible for 100% of anything over $400,000. So the city really has no cost coming out, and the airport has no cost on this project.
Good. All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any comments or questions from the council? Anyone from the public want to address this? And once again, from Zoom.
No, this time.
All right. Council, what's your pleasure on item D?
I'd like to make a motion to approve this item.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Let's have a roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Dixon,
Yes.
Mayor Dodd,
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin,
Yes.
Councilmember Jones,
Yes.
and Councilmember Nunn.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, item E is the approval for work authorization under the existing continuing services agreement for construction management and inspection services this is also at the airport. So, Mr. Benton.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yes, busy night here getting things done for the airport.
Yes.
So once again, thanks to Mr. Sabo for his great work on all the grant work that he's done with FDOT for all of these projects. So this one will be, so we have consultant service agreements with different consultants at the airport, and one of them, infrastructure consulting and engineering, has been selected to handle the construction management and inspection services for the Alpha Taxiway Apron project that is also a grant-funded project. And so we have FDOT grants in the amount of 80% of this cost that will cover for the construction management and inspection services, and the city will use the DST funds to cover the remaining 20% of this. So we recommend approval of this at this time.
Any comments or questions from staff? Excuse me, from the council?
No.
Mr. McGartland, you're reading.
Yeah, I'm having trouble with my eyes, but I'll move approval of item 15E.
Okay. Do you have a second?
Second.
All right. Have a motion and a second to approve item 15E. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address this? I'll say it again. How about Zoom?
Not this time.
Okay. I'll make a deal with you. If somebody raises their hand, just let me know. How's that work? Okay. This is also will require a voice vote. So.
Okay. Mayor Dodd?
Yes.
Councilmember McPartlin?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
And Vice Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
All right. Item F. This is approval of a lot of cars in the police fleet. What they're doing is, I think, Mr. Benton, you can address this, but I believe they're basically putting into here all the purchases for this calendar budget year.
Yes,
Pretty
sir.
much all of them.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So this is, these are the purchases. We're trying to get them in as early as possible. Some of them have been identified as being on the ground, so I think we might can get some of them quicker than we expect. But these are the purchases for vehicles for the police department. There are 7 marked patrol units, 1 unmarked patrol unit, or 1 unmarked unit, 1 K-9 vehicle that, just for clarification, in the past we've used Chevrolet Tahoes for our K-9 units. And in speaking with the chief, we're going to explore and utilize a Ford F-150 for our K-9 unit. It's been successful in other municipalities, counties, governmental agencies for K-9 units. So it's nothing that's new. It's been worked. It's been proven out on the road. But this will be the first one that we have that is not a large SUV unit for our K-9 unit. And also our second purchase, one for a Ford Maverick for our code enforcement vehicles, which, as you all are aware, currently they're larger vehicles, F-250 Ford vehicles. We have already received 1 Maverick unit that is on the road now. It's out in operation. And so we had 1 more code enforcement vehicle, an F-250, that this will work to replace that with a smaller utility truck to serve that purpose. So we are piggybacking off of Charlotte County for this and looking across numerous competitive bid processes and piggyback options. Charlotte County was the most beneficial to us for this purchase, and we recommend approval of this at this time.
Okay. Does council have any questions for the staff?
I do have one comment, if I may, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm very happy I saw the Ford Maverick the other day when we were passing by the police department, sitting out there. I'm very happy to see that, and I know as far as patrol units go, the hybrid vehicles just didn't work out with the tester they had, but I'm very confident that this will be good for code enforcement, and it'll help reduce gas usage for them as they're driving around the city. But, I'm glad to see that. Thank you.
I was just going to bring up, did you want to explain why we had to switch to the Ford F-150 from the Tahoe?
Yes, sorry, I apologize.
That's okay.
We discussed it earlier today.
Yes.
So as most people are aware, or maybe not, the access to Tahoes is really difficult. And so the manufacturers, the ones that they're making, they can get a bigger bang for their buck selling it on the private market to the public, as opposed to selling it to a public entity. So we are unable to get Tahoes. I think the estimated date, they said, actually, I believe they told us that we couldn't even secure one or put in to order one until 2025. So that's why we're making this transition. But I do want to clarify that the F-150 is a suitable K-9 vehicle for us. I know in speaking with the chief on this item, he's done his due diligence. Staff has done their due diligence in looking into this option. So we're very comfortable with going with a truck as opposed to the large SUV for this K-9 unit.
Thank you, Brian.
At least they were successful getting a Maverick. They're very difficult to find, too.
And I believe that's the one, if I'm not mistaken, that's on the ground, that is on the ground that we can get immediately. So that's, that's a pretty good one. So.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Any other comments from the council? Anyone in the public would like to address this? Seeing none. All right. Madam Clerk, would you do a roll call, please?
We
make a motion.
I move approval. of the purchase of 7 Ford Explorers, and so on and so forth.
So on and so forth, okay.
Yes.
Second that.
All
Thank
right,
you.
now we have a motion and a second. Thank you for the assistance.
Councilmember McPartlin?
Yes.
Councilmember Jones?
Yes.
Councilmember Nunn?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Dixon?
Yes.
And Mayor Dodd?
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, now we're on to item G. This is the list of the advisory committees at the county or multi-county level. Is there anyone up here that would like to modify the advisory committees that they're currently serving on?
I only have one thing you need to fix is on the Citizens Oversight Committee. Christopher Robert, that's the other guy. That's not my name spelled wrong. Thank you.
Oh, okay, so you're okay with it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm great with everything. I'd like to keep what I have, unless somebody really wants to change.
I'm happy.
You're happy?
Mhm.
Mr. McPartland?
Oh, good.
Okay. Fred?
Good.
Okay, so everything's good with that, so that's all gonna stay the same. And, as far as monitoring the county commission meetings, who's doing it this month?
Me.
Okay, so he's doing December 23, McPartland, and then I'm doing starting on December the 12th? Right. Right?
So Councilmember McPartlin has November, so he'll have November 21st.
Okay,
And then I have you for December, but now that you're the mayor, you could reassign.
I'll do December. Well, okay, I'm gonna be here in December. I'm not gonna be here in November, but I'll be here in December. I'm not gonna be here all next week and so forth, so.
Okay.
Unless anybody has any issues with this, the simplest thing to do is for you just to go right down the line on these. Yeah.
I was just gonna make a request. I can take the summer since I'm teaching now. That might be easier.
Okay, maybe you can put Councilmember, the vice mayor on June and July. Or
Okay.
something like that, and then.
Just so I don't have to twist your arm to take my months.
Okay.
Okay.
And just go down the line. Does anyone have any problem with that?
Just continue the rotation, yeah.
Yeah.
Down the line. And just let people know when they're going.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think it's very beneficial for them to see us there, so.
Yes.
All right. City attorney matters.
Nothing this month, but we'll have something for you at the next meeting.
Okay.
And congratulations.
Okay, thank you. And we talked about an item that I was interested in.
Yes, sir.
And you sent me a little blurb.
Yes, sir.
Have you had a chance to put together anything that talks about the steps to go through on that?
That would be a referendum item,
Yes.
and I believe I outlined it. Would you like for me to tell everyone, or?
No,
put it on the
I'll
next
bring it up
agenda?
during my matters, but I saw something, I saw something that says, here's what's in the charter, but I didn't see anything that shows what steps. We can talk about it separately. That's fine. We'll talk about it separately. Okay. Anything else that you have?
No, sir.
All right. City manager matters.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I just have a couple things. First item that I have is the strategic plan RFP. The bids closed last Thursday. We received 4 bids. So now we will go into our evaluation committee phase where we will identify an evaluation committee for this in preparation to bring that item back to you all for the December 13th meeting. So my question of the council is, since this is going to be a heavily council-involved process with the strategic plan, do you all want to select someone to sit on the evaluation committee and evaluate those 4 bids? So then you would be involved in the committee. The committee right now, we have planned to meet on Monday, December 4th, at 10 a.m. will be when the committee meets to make the determination if you all want to select a member to sit on that committee.
I'd
I
like
think
to.
the mayor.
Dodge, excellent, yeah.
Yep.
I think Mayor Dodd is our best option for,
Oh, thank you.
understanding the
It
strategic
does.
plan needs.
Absolutely.
Ed Dodd is it.
Because he's gonna be gone in November, but he'll be back in
He'll
December.
be back just in time.
Ed Dodd.
So we will,
Send me the particulars if you would, please.
so what we'll do is we'll get all the bid documents together. They're all prepared. If you can stop by tomorrow or Friday.
Well, I've got a meeting with you Friday
There we
anyway,
go.
so I'll do it
Perfect.
then.
So we'll
Yeah.
take care of that on Friday.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be gone until the 29th, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So we can discuss it on Friday and I'll get you all the documents.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Great.
I'm very happy you got 4 responses to that.
Me too.
That's better than I thought it would be, so I'm very happy about that.
And I'm excited for you to be on it because we want to make sure the company that gets this is able to hopefully show something that they've done similar and
That
that's
would be nice,
acceptable.
too. Yeah,
That would be nice, so,
yeah.
good.
Anything else, Mr.
Yes, sir. I got a couple other things. So I want to thank Commissioner Moss for coming and reminding everyone of the meeting that the county is holding starting tomorrow. I just want to quickly remind everyone once again on that. The Indian River County workshops will take place tomorrow at North Indian River County Library. The first one is 11 a.m. to 12:30. And the second one is 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. tomorrow night. They do offer a virtual option. So we have it on our website, we have it on Facebook, and the county has it as well. And I'll ask staff to post it on our Facebook page again tonight or tomorrow so that it's fresh on everybody's mind. And people can attend that virtually as well. So we invite as many members of the public to attend that as possible. With the election, it was my first opportunity to sit on the canvassing board. And I just want to take this opportunity to thank Supervisor of Elections, Lynn Swan, for hosting us down there and walking me personally through the process and being involved on the canvassing board. So it was a good process, and I invite members of the public in the future, when there are elections, if they want to go down and see the process, they do allow public to view how it operates, and it is a very well-run system that Supervisor Swan has in place down at the elections office. And the last thing is just kind of a little bit of a question, because I know I spoke to a couple of you on this item. In regards to the consent agenda, I want to make sure that we are doing what you all want us to do with this agenda. So with the consent agenda, the decision that I had made on this one was to put budgeted items, other than the police vehicles, on the consent. However, is there a certain threshold if it's over $75,000 or over $100,000 that you all would rather see under the regular agenda, so you don't have to pull it from the consent? Is there a number that you all are looking at, or?
You have any feeling for what you would like to do with that?
75 sounds right, 75,000?
Yeah.
75 sounds good to me.
Okay, so
let's
going
try that.
forward, we'll include items that are at that level or above. We'll make sure they're under the regular agenda, so that we can be as transparent as possible and include the public on all of those purchases as well.
Yes, okay.
So, all right, that's all I have for tonight. Thank you.
City Clerk. Okay, Councilmember Jones.
Yes, I'd just like to say I am really thankful to be back up here. I want to thank the voters of Sebastian that put me back in the office, and I'm looking forward to continuing the work that we've already started. And we have a big future ahead of us here in the city, so I am glad to be back here with institutional knowledge to make sure that this city moves forward and not backwards. Thank you, that's it.
All right, Councilmember Nunn.
Yeah, I want to as well say thank you to the voters. I wish more voters would show up and vote on election day, but the voters that did show up, thank you for doing your duty and being part of the democratic process. Thank you again for reelecting me. I will continue working as hard as I've worked for the past 3 years, continuing forward. Thank you.
All right, Councilmember Dixon.
I just wanted to thank the city for the great veteran service last weekend. That was just absolutely wonderful. It was great to be able to be there and be a part of it. And for the Boy Scouts who showed up, that was wonderful too. And then thank you, all of you, for nominating me to be vice mayor. I was not expecting that. So I'm just humbled, and I hope to represent the city well this year. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I also want to extend my congratulations to the 3 council members that were reelected. I think it's an accomplishment on their part that they were able to get through that process. And I want to thank everyone for moving me into the mayor's position and trusting me to do that. And I want to make a comment to our esteemed Director of Public Works. I have some very big sympathy. I have made my first pass through the stormwater plan, all 700 pages of it. And it's 85% fluff and 15% meat, but I will tell you that the 15% meat is much better than I thought it was going to be. That's my opinion. So I think, I know you're having a problem, you're having to go through that and create the cliff notes, and it would be a really tough task to do that. I wouldn't want to have to do that. So, but for everyone out there who has heard all the naysayers about the stormwater plan, we have it. It's being reviewed by the staff. It's going to come to the council. It's a very, very big, unwieldy document if you try to read the whole thing, but like most consultants, they put in it a lot of stuff that you really don't need, but they need in order to justify what they've done. But there is some really good stuff in there that I think will be very beneficial to us. So, and that's about it. So, thank you, Mr. McPartland, Councilmember McPartland.
Yes, I'd also like to thank the voters. I wish the turnout was a lot larger, but what it was, and just to let all the people know that I work for all the citizens of Sebastian. Feel free to give me a call, email me, stop me when you see me around. I don't do social media, so if you want face-to-face, I like that better. So careful what you wish for some days, but thanks for that. And the Veterans Day was a beautiful ceremony. It was probably the largest attended, probably because Mayor Jones was there, and he told everybody and had all the Marines in for the weekend. But it was great. It was one of the largest ones I've seen. And thank you to staff, because the sound system over the last few things that have been down there is unbelievable compared to the old days where we had the wires and sometimes it was in and out. But thank you, Brian.
Our technical staff does a fantastic job.
Mm-hmm.
They really do.
They're like a regular TV. I mean, they look even better because when my work office is across from the federal courthouse in Fort Pierce, and when they had CNN down there covering the beginning of the trial, their stuff looked better than they were like on the side of the road with umbrellas.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All that praise now, they're gonna be after you tomorrow, you know. All right, is there anything else for the good of the order? Then we are adjourned.